Hello everyone, here we are. Today I'd like to share my latest high kappa build with the CTM Naviara slide and the X-Fire midframe. This just came out last week. I was lucky enough to get everything I need ready in the weekend. Big shout out to JK Army, I got most of my parts there and feel free to check them out. I believe many of you guys might have questions regarding the X-Fire frame like fitment, parts compatibility, and so on. So without further ado, let's dive in with what's in my build here. For this build here, I've used all aftermarket parts to build this from ground up, and none of them are from the stock TM. What I have to say is, while CTM did a really good job for fitting the original TM high kappa, it's not guaranteed for aftermarket builds like this. As expected, I do need to do some modification for the parts here and there to complete the build, but overall the fitments are fine and the features packed in this slide and frame really worth all the effort. Now let's disassemble the gun and talks about the parts inside. Okay, so the gun is disassembled. Let's check out what's in the slide first. The hop-up here is a TTI Airsoft hop-up chamber and a PDI 118mm inner barrel with a unicorn 60-degree bucking. And the reason why I picked this, despite the CTM slide already comes with a TDC design, is I really love how the TTI chamber locks the barrel in place. And since it is a one-piece design, it gives a very good air seal for the bucking. You can use a standard TM chamber here, and you'll also get great results. This is just personal preference. For the guide rod, I'm using a revanchist stainless steel adjustable guide rod. I really like this one because it allows for a lot of short stroke without using a 4-3 guide plug, and also it adds to the weight of the front to help reduce the recoil. The guide plug is also from revanchist. This one is made out of POM, so it is extremely lightweight. Also helps reducing the recoil. The recoil spring is a 110% spring from Edge, but I also cut it to be a bit shorter to compensate for the extreme short stroke. To the back of the slide, here I have an Edge blowback unit with a Guns Modify long leg nozzle. This nozzle is basically the same as the Edge one, but in black and has better internals in my opinion. The nozzle spring is the revanchist 120% spring. Personally, I think the one that comes with the slide is a bit too stiff, but it's totally fine if you just drop that one in. This setup might be concerning for some people, but I've tried and tested this combination in multiple builds and I really like how it feels, especially when you have such a lightweight slide. It's just phenomenal. Enough for the slide, let's talk about the lower. The gorgeous CTM X-Fire frame with a fun switch. And for the grip here, I believe is the 9-ball high kappa Neo grip. And this is where the compatibility issue starts. I was going to build this with an aluminum grip, but I've tried Airsoft Masterpiece, 5KU and boom arms, none of them fit. And I don't really want to grind them up to fit, like these cost like 300 bucks. I'm just going to keep them for another build. For the trigger, I am using the Next Speed trigger here, mainly for the look. Inside is an AM trigger bar, smooth and adjustable, allows me to tune the triggers pre-travel straight to the wall. Not gonna lie, this is a must-have in every of my kappa builds. Every pull just crisp like a chip. AIP grip screws, a red one just to fit the overall looks. And the slide stop is the CTM ambidextrous one. I don't really use a slide stop because they're useless with short stroking anyway, but the shape of it does fit the pistol quite well, so I picked this bad boy. For the thumb safety, it is kinda TM spec compatible, but since this one has to interact with the disconnector to toggle between the fun mode, I don't see a point for changing it, so I just keep it the original. Grip safety, I am using the Airsoft Masterpiece steel grip safety, so I'd say it is TM compatible, and I removed the safety function. I just think this makes it so the grip is more comfortable to hold. You don't have to do this. Next, the hammer. It is proprietary. The CTM hammer has a different cut in conjunction with the fire control group. I do believe you can do a custom cut to a TM spec hammer for it to fit. But then you'll also need a AM advanced frame sear because using the CTM sear with a TM hammer, it will be sitting too high when cocked and jam your slide. On to the hammer spring housing. This is a revanchist stainless steel housing. Inside it has a cow hammer regulator and a Trident sear spring, the classic lightweight trigger combo. The reason why I picked the stainless steel one is because the frame is aluminum with a lot of cutouts and the grip is polymer. I am so used to the weight of aluminum grip, and so I have to add weight here for me to balance things out. The last piece is the magwell. This is also from Revanchist, but it is not a drop-in for the 9-ball grip because this grip isn't designed to use aftermarket magwells, so a bit of fitment is needed, but nothing crazy here. Now that wraps up the lower. Let's put the pistol back together first and talks a bit more on this CTM high kappa build. Okay, we are back. Let's talk a bit more on this kappa build. Externally, I think the 9-ball grip really fits well with the Naviara slide and the X-Fire frame. The cuts and pattern on the grip aligns with the whole aesthetic of the Naviara. The only sad thing I can think of is that it is not an aluminum grip. I do hope CTM will release a new batch that works with aluminum grip, but that's another story. For the slide, it is very well made, very snappy. While it might not be the lightest slide in my collection, the design aesthetic is just rockets out of the sky, and it is really one of a kind among all my other high kappas. This part I can actually remove to remove a slight bit of weight, but I do think this silver is a nice touch of accent color in the whole black and red theme. And the X-Fire frame, it's just raw power and fun. When you turn the fun switch on, the others will surely feel it, cause it is loud and fast. And for its price point, you get a full CNC frame, steel fire control parts, both safeties and a fun switch. It almost sounds like Christmas. Now, let us do some dry fire and see this little demon in action. Overall, I think this would be one of my favorite high kappa pistol, not just because it's peak performance, but also it is so much fun to play with. I think I'm going to run this pistol only in some of my upcoming CQB games, try to get used to it, and hopefully I can film some nice footage for this bad boy. But this is just my sidearm configuration for it. It's time to put on all the fancy stuff and turn it into a primary pistol. And boom! An Ace-Tech Blaster C Tracer unit. A replica Surefire X 300 Light, a Vector Optics Frenzy Red Dot, and a TTI Airsoft Long Magazine. Man, this looks crazy and cool. And actually, with most of the components being CNC aluminum and polymer, this pistol is quite handy even with all the accessories. Damn, this is nice. Alright, this wraps up my review on this amazing CTM Naviara slide and X-Fire frame high kappa. This thing is so much fun and looks freaking cool. If you want to build one yourself, make sure to place a pre-order from your local retailers because these things sold out fast and the quantity is quite limited. If you have any questions about these amazing products, please do drop a comment and let me know, and I'll help you out. See you all in the next video. Peace.